Hello again folks, tonight's video is going to be a repair video on this Commodore Amiga A1200. Now the other weekend there I did a deal with a chap on the Commodore Amiga Facebook page and swapped another A1200 unit for an accelerator card, and that arrived today, and I've popped it into my pride and joy here. This is my favourite, my cleanest Amiga that I own. I have to say it took quite some doing to get the card in. I actually had to disassemble it to fit the card, but that's a side note. The issue with it is that there's a problem with the sound, and if I just turn the Amiga on, you won't see the screen obviously, but this is an audio problem, not a video problem. But the problem is I think it's the left-hand channel of audio is intermittent. So it's just booting now. While it's booting, I also think I may need to replace this disk drive at some point. I'd like to put a Gotek in it permanently. I just don't want to hack it about with it. I want to keep it original. As you can hear it, I don't know if you can hear the drive there, but it's almost like it's struggling to find the track. But there we go, you can probably hear the audio there, and that is fine. It sounds the way it should do, but it crackles sometimes. If I just move the left-hand connector, as you can hear, I'm only getting the right-hand channel, and if I touch it again, it comes on. If it moves a slight, very slightly, it goes off again. So I am reasonably content that it is a dry joint, or well, I'm hoping it's a dry joint rather than a faulty connector. These connectors are fairly robust. They don't tend to break, but they can do, so I'm not going to rule it out. So that's what this video is going to be. I'm going to open this up, I'm going to investigate it, and we'll see if we can repair it. So rather than bore you with me taking all the screws and such like out of it, I will stop the video. I will pause, I'll pause the video. I'll take all the screws out, and I'll come back to you when it's ready to take the board out. In fact, I might just take the board out. I have already taken the shield off this evening already. I'll show you the reason why I did that in just a moment. Okay, so that's the board being released from the case. I've had to take out all these little 5mm, I forget what we call them, the little where the screws go in from your mouse cables, and serial and parallel and video cables, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, those actually secure the board to the RF shielding on it. So before we actually take a look at the board, I'll show you the issue I was experiencing with the shielding. If I bring it in, with that in place, you can see that this metal shielding is probably, I'll just lift it up rather than try and zoom in, probably less than 1 millimeter to the actual connections to the board. So I initially put some Kapton tape on it just to try and insulate it, but actually decided to just remove the top half of the RF shield anyway. From what I understand, is the RF shield isn't actually required. It was a compliance thing when it was being manufactured, and I think it was to meet American, is it federal communications laws or something like that. So that's why it was fitted. So it's not actually necessary to have it, as far as I'm aware. If you have any comments on that, of course, pop them down below. So yeah, we'll take this board out rather gingerly. I don't want to break it. There we go. Put that to one side. And I haven't taken the screws out this one because it's just another little it's a separate 9-pin connector. You can just take it off this little header, and hopefully it should come out reasonably easily. There we go. So we get the lower shield. It's actually quite clean. Obviously a plastic insulating sheet in there, but yeah, quite clean and shiny. And here's a board. So yeah, not a lot to it really. Well, not a lot to it. Of course, it's a marvel of engineering in its day. Is that board slightly warped? Maybe difficult to see. It looks like it might be slightly warped. Probably just the way it's been had the hard drive cage. There is a hard drive holder for the old 2.5-inch hard drive. It might be that with the keyboard pressing down has actually slightly warped the board, but I don't imagine it's caused us any great problems. I don't think that's necessarily the cause of the audio issue because it's right next to the board. But let's have a look at that. It doesn't, you know, I thought it was going to be an obvious dry joint, but that looks nice and shiny. Let's check down the side. Oh, there's nothing. It doesn't look like the actual metal on the connector's broken, and on the, because obviously that side looks nice and shiny and secure, but it could be these parts here that are actually broken, but they don't look broken at all either. Let's just grab a meter and do a continuity check on that. So we know that the red, the right, is good. So so we've got a good ground connection, so it's not the ground. Let's check the signal side. So that's good. Because those are two distinct sides, so that means there's a good connection. Because these are actually switched connections. You've got the ground, which is obviously permanent, and then you've got each side of the audio. Sorry, there's two sides of the connector. You probably see it better from this side, here and here. Now, when the let me see how this works. When there's nothing connected, let me just do it so I'm make sure I'm not telling you a load of lies. Yeah, when there's nothing connected, those two are, you know, the bridge, the closed. But when you push this in, it seems to push one of the contacts up and out the way, thus breaking the connection. But might actually connect to it. Might actually be connecting both in the top and the bottom rather than just the bottom. If that in any way makes sense, I don't imagine it does. Let me just plug it in and do continuity again when it's plugged in and see if we get any different. No, let's give it a wiggle. Nope, so that's good. So the connector, is the connector good? I know that this cable's good because I've tried it on my other Amigas. It was obviously, I didn't mention it before, but it was obviously the first thing I did was double check that this cable was good, and it absolutely is. There is absolutely no problems with it. Let's try some of these surface mount components. What have we got? We've got was it 100K, 102, which, yeah, 10 and 20 is, oh no, sorry, 102 is 10 and 20, so that's a 1K, so two 1K resistors. We've got a 0 ohm, which should just be, you know, a 0 ohm resistor, which is a link essentially, a couple little caps. We've got these electrolytics, I think, presumably, given the location, are probably to do with audio filtering, you know, audio filtering capacitors. And yeah, there's not a lot there. On the back, what have we got? 472, so 4.7Ks on the back. So basically, where there's likely to be any flex, I'll check those components and try and give a little flex as well and see if that makes any difference. So hopefully you're sticking by me on this. I know it's not the most interesting of videos, but I thought we'll give it a go. So we'll bring the meter in so you can see it. 0.983 kilo ohm. That's good. Give it a flex. Nothing there. Let's try the other side. Not that, but I'm not going to check I'm not going to check the right hand audio because we know it works. I've checked that. Let's check continuity on that 0 ohm link. That's good. Oops. Nothing on there. Let's flip the board over back to resistance, and we'll check these 4.7K resistors. 4.65K, again, we'll give it a flex. Yeah, 4.63, close enough. And again, we're on the right hand audio here, but we'll check it anyway, just in case there's any sort of weird sort of crossover thing. So that's weird. I mean, I can't think what it could be, unless it's just a dirty connection inside, but you wouldn't expect it to be, you wouldn't expect it to cause that sort of an issue, you know, for it to stop. Yeah, maybe a bit crackly, a bit rustly, but not to stop when it's pushed and then come back when it's moved again. You'd expect it to be crackly and not an actual, you know, what's the word, binary on or off kind of thing. What else could we try? I think I'm going to clean that with, in fact, I'll tell you what to do. Let me see. Can we give it a little file inside? Where's my round one? These are not particularly clean. I think I should be able to get this in here. Yes, I can. So that's coming in. I'm just going to give it a gentle twist. Pull it out. I might as well do the right hand channel as well while I'm here. And can we get into the switch side? Let's do the same in here from the back on the switch side. It might just be that the contacts, I mean, and I'm not suggesting for any, you know, any moment that this is the right way to be doing this. There will be people going, what are you doing, man? I'm just doing the best with what I've got here. It might not make any difference at all. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get some Q-tips or cotton buds, whatever you want to call them, and I'm just going to get some isopropyl alcohol in there and just clean up any little fragments of metal or stuff like that, and obviously try and dissolve any contaminants that's on there. I think, given the age of this, a small, fine, abrasive file is not going to cause any problems. I think that would probably be needed to get rid of any sort of corrosion or anything that may be lurking in there. So yeah, rambling on, bear with me, I'll go and get my Q-tips and we'll get that cleaned up. Okay, welcome back. Right, I've got my safe buds. I've had these for years. I think I got them from, I think it was at Misco back in the day. Are they still in existence? So what we're going to do is, quite simply, dip this in some isopropyl alcohol, take the you know, we don't want it dripping, just enough to get in there, and of course the Q-tip's too big, so let's let's try and pull a bit of the cotton off the end, see if this is going to work. Come on. Let's see, again we'll just give it a little dip. Don't nope, it's just squeaking around there. Let's try and take some more off. Ah, there we go, that's probably more like it. Probably enough alcohol still on it. No, this isn't going well, is it? Right, more alcohol, and I've just dropped the end of my stick in. So there we go. As always, what's and all on my channel. Where's my safe buds? Right, we'll try. Yeah, we'll try that. I know it's not ideal. We'll dip that in. Actually, that's just perfect. Enough to, and it is picking up some sort of contaminants. I don't know if that's really coming out there, but it is a little bit brown on the end. Yeah. How do you get a Q-tip out of a bottle of isopropyl alcohol? Can you see it in there? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Yeah, there you go. It started to sink as well. Oh well, I won't do a video on how to get Q-tip out your alcohol. Yeah, rambling on yet again. Do we test that? Will I test it? Yes, I will test it. So we'll do it on the board here. We don't need much. We need video. Oh, well, we don't even need video, but we'll put the video in. We'll pop the audio in. A little twisty poo there. We'll give it some power. And of course we'll need something to listen to, so we need our drive connected. Now clearly the cutting mat below is insulated. I will just pop the drive on top of the multimeter there and we will turn it on. So the screen's just flashed. Obviously there's no power LEDs to see. Wait a second, what's going on here? The drive wasn't, the drive was connected. Sorry, the drive wasn't connected properly. It pulled out here and I'd taken the disc out, so it's now clicking, so it's reading the disc. I've got graphics, and let's see if we've got audio in just a moment. So audio should be starting any time now, which it has, and I've got both channels just now. And that appears to have fixed the problem, and I can see it's moving about here. You can see that. I know that's not good for the board, but yeah, working absolutely fine. So we'll turn it off there. I'm going to call that a successful repair. I'm not suggesting, like I said just a moment ago, I'm not suggesting this is the best way. I just did the best with what I had, but it does seem to have resolved the problem. I think, yeah, it was just corroded connection in there. It just wasn't making a good contact, so that clearly worked. I suppose my recommendation to you would be, if you experience a similar problem, would be to just use a Q-tip with alcohol first. I don't know why, but I just thought we'll try the file first anyway, just to remove any sort of particularly bad contaminants. But yeah, it does seem to have worked. Okay, something that needs to be done to this is it needs to be recapped. This clearly works. You've seen it and heard it. Well, you've not seen it, but you've heard it working. There's no problem with the video output. We're getting a good video output. We're getting good audio output. However, these capacitors will not last forever. And as anybody will tell you, that owns or is interested in Amigas, is you need to have them recapped, new capacitors put on them, just to prevent them from leaking, and of course ruining the computer. Because if the electrolyte does leak out of these caps and goes onto the board, these are, I think, 3 or 4 layer boards. They're just going to go in between the layers, and they're just going to rot the board from an inside out. And it's not impossible to repair, but it will be both either timely, I should say, if you've got the experience to repair it, or if not, very, very expensive to get somebody that's willing to invest the time in repairing that computer for you. And of course, there's no guarantees that they will be able to repair it, and they will probably still charge you for the time. Okay, enough rambling. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like me to do a video on me recapping this, I should have said that before. Recapping, not as in going over what I've just done, but as in replacing the capacitors on this board. If you'd like to see a video of me doing that, using probably the better methods, then please comment below and I will try and do that for you. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already done so and you'd like to do so, click on my fat head down here to subscribe. Yeah, and yeah, take care of yourselves, and as always, all the best.